everybody, welcome to Mark's Remarks. Today I'm going to be making some pasta. Now, it dawned on me today that I haven't done a pasta dish in ages. I don't know, a couple of months maybe, you know. So, I'm going to make normally my pasta involves basically pasta and some kind of sauce, okay? And then, this by the way is, it's dolmio, but it's on special. When I bought this, it's £1. I think it's still on special. Normally have several meats in there. Okay, now what I'm going to do, I got some chipolatas today, down from £3 to £1.80. Not as far as I could have got it, but I'll have to go in 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock this evening to pick it up to get any cheaper. And even then, they're getting right reluctant nowadays. So £3 down to £1.80 for 10 chipolatas. I'm going to put maybe I don't know, 3 or 4 of them in. I've got some bacon, it's already diced bacon. Price-wise, it's pretty much the same. Slightly not as better off. You'd be slightly better off buying it in the pieces, but I bought this chunks. And, another deal I got, 4 pork chops. There we go, £3 down to £1.80. So I'll take one of these pork chops and freeze the rest. Along with the bacon, along with the sausages, chop them up, fry them up, and in with the pasta. Now, what I'm doing now is I've put some oil, some cheap vegetable oil, the cheapest one out of the co-op, put that in a frying pan on 9 out of 12. I'm going to put the pork chop and the sausages in the frying pan to do. The bacon I'm going to leave a little bit for a little while, because I've got to fit, because the bacon's in small pieces, it's going to take less time. So I'll get that almost brown, then throw the bacon in, and once this starts to cook, then I'll start to cut it up into small pieces. Alright, the pork chop and bacon have been pork chop and chipolatas, they've been cooking for about 3-4 minutes or so. Now's the time for the bacon. There we are. Give that a, because I've chopped up the sausages and the pork choppers, you know, into sort of fairly small pieces. There's probably a few in there that could still be cut up. But on the whole, it's quite small pieces. There you go. So I'm just going to fry that. And then I'm going to bring the water back to the... Now's the time... The water's already boiled, but I need to bring it back to the boil in order to throw the pasta in, which I've measured out already. This particular cup, I know, holds 100 grams of pasta. I always use the same cup to measure it. Fill the cup up to the top, 100 grams. Simple as that. Instead of using lots of different cups and measuring jugs to measure out the pasta, I just use the same cup every time. Okay, I'm going to fry this up, chop a few more little pieces together, bring the water back to the boil, I'll put the water on now, and in a moment I'm going to throw the pasta in. Okay, the water is boiled, and in fact, actually I'll show you the meat as well. The meat is just about done. It's about to the right brownness, maybe a minute or two longer. Although I would suggest, what I did, I put the bacon in about 3 or 4 minutes after the sausage and the pork chop. I would suggest putting it in after about a minute or 2 minutes after. You know, less time between the meats, just to help it brown off. Alright, so I'm going to put the pasta in. In fact, I'm going to take some of this water out of the bowl so it heats up quicker. There you go. Now the usual, you've seen me do this before. You tip the pan up, sending all the juice and the oil to one end of the frying pan, and then you spoon it out into the special 5-litre jug. This you've seen before, I think. It's just the it's a 5-litre jug with the top taken off and turned upside down for a... Oop. Ah, shit. Alright, you've got to watch the pasta as well. I'm going to turn that down now to 8 so it doesn't overboil. What was I saying? Yeah, you can use a 2-litre or any kind of bottle. Okay. Just gotta watch the pasta so it doesn't boil over. You just want the pasta. You just want to bring back to the boil. Once you throw the pasta in, it'll sort of settle down. You have to bring it back to the boil, and then just let it simmer. There we go. Now, all the oil is drained from the meat. Now it's time to put the pasta sauce in. There we are, Dolmio's meatball, tomato and basil. Okay, whoops, ah shit, right. Okay, yeah, always does that. Once it hits the heat, it always bubbles up. So, scrape all the pasta sauce out. Now, the trick is here, because we don't want the pasta sauce losing all its moisture, because as you might be able to see all the steam coming up. That's water coming out of the food. So if the sauce gets too thick, I'll just put some water in the jar here, swish it round, get all the little bits out of there, and throw it in with the sauce, and it will thin out the sauce a little bit. And basically it'll just be adding water to the sauce. It won't be diluting it or anything, it'll just be making it thinner, that's all, because there's plenty of water in here. Yeah, I mean, ingredients 77%, tomato paste 15, onions, lemon juice, sugar, basil, salt, garlic, parsley, spices. There'll be a bunch of water in there as well. Okay, so I'm going to gently bring this sauce to the simmer, and I'm going to keep my eye on the pasta. I've just given the pasta a taste. What I've done, I've taken one piece. The way to test your pasta is bring it to the side of the pan, try and cut it in half with a spoon. If it's easy to cut, or very easy to cut, then it's done. If there's a little bit of give, then it's not. And then the piece that you cut in half, you can always taste. And if there's a hardness to it, it needs a few more minutes, which is what's happening here. Only just a few more minutes. This is boiling away quite nicely. I've put a little bit of water in this jar, and actually, thinking about it, I could have used the water from the pasta. That's what I should have done, like a dummy. Anyway, I'm going to pour a little bit in there just to thin out the sauce. It's starting to thicken up just a little bit, but I want the sauce to be kind of runny because I want it to pour all over the pasta. I don't want it to be thick sauce. Anyway, so you just add a little bit of water, just give it a mix around. Putting water in there, you're not putting anything that's not in there already. And like I say, like I should have done was use hot water from the pasta. That would have added a bit of nutrients, a bit of flavour, and it would have been hot rather than putting cold in here. Alright, so we're only a couple of minutes away. Okay, pasta's gone in the colander, drained off. Now, just going to pour it in the pan with the pasta. I've taken it off the heat, or turned the heat off. And what it is, it's just resting in between the two hobs. There we go. Just gently fold that in. This is why you need the pasta to be fairly thin, not boiled to death with with all the moisture being taken out of it. Like I say, you know, you just add some more water, make it thin because you want it to cover. You want it to cover all the pasta. You don't want any, because pasta's pretty nasty on its own. You don't want any pasta that's not covered in sauce. There you go. Okay, then we'll plate it up. And there you have it. Pasta with 1 pork chop, 3 chipolatas, and a bunch of diced up bacon. Quite nice. That dolmio sauce is kind of very, it's got a sharp tomato taste to it. Given the trouble, I do prefer other brands of pasta sauce. But the bacon's coming through with this. But there you have it. That's it goes to show you don't have to have, you know, just it's an alternative, because I've got mince in the freezer, which I'll make another pasta dish shortly. But it goes to show you don't have to just have mince with pasta sauce on pasta, you know. Just have the pasta sauce and put your own meat in it. I've got some chicken, but if I had chicken that was defrosted, I would have put chicken in there with the sausages, with the bacon. Oh, you know what? I actually bought these specifically. Next time I'll put these in, some pepperami. I was going to cut them up. I knew there was something. Anyway, but there's 3 meats in here. But yeah, I mean, if you happen to have just a couple of bits of bacon laying around in the fridge, a couple of sausages left over in a packet, 1 pork chop, a little bit of steak, you know, it doesn't matter what the meat, bit of lamb, who cares, just mix 3 or 4 meats together, throw in the bottle of sauce in there, and the pasta is all good. Now, so just use your scraps of whatever you got in the fridge, pull out whatever you got in the freezer, doesn't matter what it is. There you have it. I'm going to put the usual up here, and please, if you want to see more videos, please subscribe. If you do, don't forget to hit the bell icon, because I'm churning out videos every couple of days. Thank you for watching.